All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the meteoric rise, the absolute cultural craze, and, well, the ultimate downfall of a pop culture giant, MTV. We're going to look at how a single television network didn't just play music, but completely dictated global youth culture. I mean, this channel ruled the hearts of millions and fundamentally changed the very fabric of the entertainment industry before ultimately losing its own identity.
Here's our agenda for today. We'll start with number 1, video killed the radio. Then 2, the I want my MTV craze. 3, breaking the color barrier. 4, VJs and unplugged magic. 5, the reality TV pivot. And finally 6, the digital disruption. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Video killed the radio, the visual disruption. So think about how you discover music today, right? You probably open up Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or maybe TikTok. Now, I want you to imagine relying on just one single TV channel for all of your music discovery. That is exactly what happened starting on August 1, 1981, when a brand new cable channel hit the airwaves and completely disrupted how we consume music.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll. Those were the iconic opening words that officially launched MTV, spoken by John Lack, the network's chief operating officer. And immediately following that bold declaration, they played this brilliantly symbolic music video. Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. It was a massive statement of intent. The era of just listening to music was over. The era of watching music had officially begun.
Now, what's really fascinating here is this number, 208. When MTV launched, they had a reservoir of only 208 music videos to play for a full 24-hour broadcast cycle. And get this, 16 of those videos belonged to Rod Stewart alone. Early on, music videos were mostly these low-budget, kind of poorly produced promotional clips. So MTV had this massive uphill battle to convince record labels that investing in high-quality visual content would actually pay off.
And this created a massive paradigm shift. I mean, MTV truly killed the audio-first world of radio by merging sound with style. They took what were essentially cheap promotional clips and turned them into a 24-hour visual art gallery. Image suddenly became just as important as the sound, and the music video transformed from a total marketing afterthought into a standalone art form that basically ruled everyone's living room.
Section 2. The I want my MTV craze, creating a cultural phenomenon. But it actually wasn't an overnight success. After its initial splash, MTV really struggled. Cable television was still a luxury back then, and labels were incredibly hesitant to give away high-quality videos for free. So to survive, MTV had to create what would become, arguably, the greatest advertising campaign in music business history.
Facing a super tight budget, MTV executive Les Garland convinced his friend, rock legend Mick Jagger, to film a promo screaming, "I want my MTV," for a grand total of exactly $1. Jagger agreed as a favor, which then led to David Bowie and Pete Townsend joining in. This simple, brilliant campaign sparked an absolute craze. It created this fever pitch of demand from teenagers literally calling their local cable providers and demanding the channel.
With the network now really taking off, they needed faces to guide the audience through this 24-hour visual gallery. Enter the original video jockeys, or VJs: Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, Alan Hunter, J.J. Jackson, and Martha Quinn. These 5 individuals became the original influencers. Long before YouTube or Instagram were even a thought, these VJs injected this chaotic, relatable energy into the broadcast, acting as the ultimate guides to youth culture and fashion.
And through their heavy rotation format, MTV proved it had the power to literally manufacture superstardom. They elevated artists like Madonna, Prince, and Duran Duran into global icons. It even saved careers. For example, the rock band Def Leppard was really struggling with album sales until MTV put their live video for Bringin' on the Heartbreak into heavy rotation. It instantly propelled their record High and Dry to platinum status. The channel had fully captured the hearts of a generation and was now the ultimate kingmaker.
Section 3. Breaking the color barrier, academic critiques, and evolution. Now, despite its massive success and cultural dominance, the early days of MTV were heavily criticized for exclusionary practices regarding the artists they actually chose to feature.
While MTV claimed to play anything that could be called rock and roll, the data painted a very different picture. According to a 1983 Rolling Stone statistic, during MTV's first 18 months, out of the 750 videos aired, less than 24 actually featured black artists. Early MTV executives argued that the rock-oriented format simply reflected what their consumer base wanted, but the pushback from the industry was severe.
The pressure mounted significantly, famously peaking during a 1983 interview where David Bowie directly challenged VJ Mark Goodman on air about the marginalization of black artists on the network. This very public scrutiny, combined with the sheer, undeniable force of Michael Jackson's Thriller album, eventually shattered the network's racial barrier. That breakthrough led to a much more frequent rotation of black artists and rhythm and blues music. Section 4. VJs and Unplugged Magic, the Golden Era. Entering the late 80s and through the 90s, MTV hit what many consider its absolute creative peak. They realized that to keep growing, they needed to expand their programming to cater to specific, passionate subcultures.
The channel truly became a cultural beacon. If you loved dance music, you tuned into Club MTV with Downtown Julie Brown. If you loved heavy metal, you stayed up late for Headbangers Ball. They created total cultural events with shows like Total Request Live, or TRL, where Carson Daly curated pop culture directly from Times Square. And perhaps most famously, they introduced MTV Unplugged, providing an incredible platform for artists to showcase raw, intimate, acoustic performances that completely stripped away the heavy production of the 80s and 90s.
However, even as they expanded, there was friction. The highly successful show Yo! MTV Raps was crucial for bringing hip-hop to the mainstream. But when the genre evolved and acts like NWA brought a harder, gangster rap sound that challenged MTV's commercial standards, the network reacted by shifting the program to unfavorable, irregular late-night time slots. This really demonstrated a continuing tension between raw cultural expression and corporate advertisers.
Section 5. The Reality TV Pivot, Chasing the Ratings. As we cross over into the late 90s and early 2000s, MTV begins to make a series of decisions that would quietly abandon its musical soul.
Breaking down this pivot reveals a pretty harsh truth. You see, the music video rotation model relied on expensive content from record labels. As ad revenues were pressured and viewership habits began shifting, MTV pivoted to reality shows and teen dramas. Now, financially, it was logical, right? Reality TV is cheap to produce and brings in short-term rating spikes. But strategically, it was fatal. By chasing these highly scripted, commercial ratings, they alienated their original core audience and completely lost their authentic, rebellious spirit.
And the ultimate consequence of this pivot happened in 2010. In a deeply symbolic surrender to its new reality, the network officially removed the words music television from its branding. The channel that once defined music culture cemented its new status as just another generic entertainment and reality TV channel.
Section 6. The Digital Disruption. The Internet takes over. But reality TV alone didn't kill the music video star. The final blow came from outside the television set. MTV had built its empire entirely on the scarcity of content, but the internet was about to thrive on abundance.
The speed of this transition is stark. Just consider the gap between the launch of TRL in 1998 and the launch of YouTube in 2005. Once YouTube and later Spotify and TikTok hit the scene, the culture moved way faster than cable television could keep up. By the time an MTV executive scheduled a new artist or reported on a trend, the internet had already made them globally famous. And by 2023, the once authoritative MTV News was officially shut down.
Fundamentally, the behavior of the audience changed. Viewers no longer had to wait around for 3:30 p.m. to watch Carson Daly in Times Square just to experience music or see their favorite artist. They could stream any video they wanted, instantly, right on their mobile phones. The VJ was replaced by the algorithm, and scheduled scarcity was replaced by on-demand abundance. When we look at the autopsy of MTV, the irony is incredibly striking. I mean, MTV actually invented the culture of fast edits, catchy visuals, and soundbite storytelling. They created the very language of the internet, but they completely failed to innovate when that culture moved to new digital media. They forgot their core promise of music discovery, chased reality TV ratings, and ultimately became the exact corporate establishment they once mocked. As we wrap up this explainer, MTV's story leaves us with a profound lesson. They didn't lose because another music channel beat them. They lost to the relentless pace of technological and cultural evolution. It's a stark reminder that relevance isn't inherited, it's earned every single day. So, looking at the digital giants ruling our screens right now, who do you think will be next to fall to evolution?